So I saw a poll the other day in a scientific magazine that said that 51% of the public, the American public, believed in extraterrestrials. So 49% still don't think they exist. Like this guy here that Kirsty Crawford took a photo of. These two people here that you see standing in the orb. This photo here that Simone Spitter took. And there's more coming. You know, it's encouraging because it really has. It's moved up over decades past, of course, you know, from, well, God, I don't know how many people admitted to it when I was younger. I saw a poll one time, I think, in the 80s. I have a photographic memory. It seems to me that said that, like at the time, 31% believed that they exist. Strongly, you know, believe that, but that was about it, or that admitted to it. You know, sometimes people will even lie in anonymous polls, so who knows? And, you know, keep in mind this outlet, you know, they're probably conservative, if anything, with their numbers. Because, you know, they talk about sometimes how, oh, scientists have worried that people would freak out if they found out it was true. There probably are some people out there that still would. That actually, if they had to know what they already know, you know what I mean? They realize it. They have to, I would think. They've got to be in denial. And for religious purposes. And I don't know why it would necessarily shake their foundation, per se. I mean, even if you were going to go out on a limb and if you were one of those people from their perspective that believed in the Bible, there's the guy from Zeta again, just went by, right, as it's portrayed in Christian theology in the United States, then you'd have to realize that the book sounds like it's loaded with extraterrestrials. It talks about people that aren't from here. Like, okay, this video here, like Karen Sue Tamarra took a photo of, it's up by the moon. You know, plasma. These beings are plasma, a lot of them, most of them, in some way. I mean, look, you can go back through the video. I mean, but anybody who sees this has long since believed, and this is just duh to them. I'm just saying that if, I don't know what it would take to convince some of these people, maybe have them land in their front yard, park next door, move in next door, have a, you know, park a flying saucer in the driveway every night. I don't know. Come over and ask for a teaspoon of sugar. I have no idea, you know, and cloak through the door, who knows. But they've been so conditioned to not want to believe, right? It's really something, because they've been so suppressed into thinking that there's any kind of a way out of here for their mind, like, or outside of just what they are or perceived to be in third dimensional reality. Some people, and I don't know why it would shake their foundation, the religious thing again. I'm not sure why it really would, because all these things, all these people they believe in the Bible or from the Bible are extraterrestrials. Most of them with any name recognition that you would hear associated. I mean, you know, I don't know. The thing with the heavens, calling it the heavens, you know, I mean, words are words, but, you know, to me, they're just words. But I understand the stigma someday has to be to the point where if we still speak like we do without completely going to light codes or telepathically by that time, that this is outer space here. These wars in the heavens and shit, we're in outer space. This heaven that they talk about is just, you know, higher up dimensions. Well, you know, any kind of a civilized society ascended above third dimensional or fourth dimensional reality would be, you would think, you know, and then there are varying levels of it. It's just a lighter body, more colorful, you know, things of that nature. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to tell people, but I could say to you that, like, rock and roll, they're here to stay, like they used to talk about in the 50s or 60s. Yeah, you know, I mean, that saying was old when I was young, and I'm old, so, and they were talking about a time that was old before that. Well, here's some more from Angel Watcher 209. She's great. She'd get some great orb videos. You know, yeah, and these things are, Yeah, and why aren't they asking the question, if these people, why aren't they asking the question of what they are? Of course, these people would have to look up to begin with, right? They'd have to look up. And I'm not downing, I think that's a great number of people that believe in them, but it just shows the split, right? We talk about a split too. It shows that there definitely is more and more of a split where it's almost right down the middle. Yeah, it's because there are a lot of people awakening. There are a fuck ton of people awakening, more from Angel Watcher 209. And that's the thing, too. And these things, I've talked about channeling these before, the Ancient Lyran Collective and shit like that, the Ancient Pleiadians, the Elemental Pleiadian Lyrans, the landscape becomes more Pleiadian-like as the planet shifts into a higher vibration. And yes, that means, and I've mentioned this before, that means, not only colorful scenery, but plants that are more ascended and alive, that talk, that deal with you. You walk by them and you could have a conversation on a Pleiadian street corner with a nice, beautiful garden that the plants were so advanced they took care of themselves. They watered themselves. It's really a trip. But that's what it is, right? And they're infusing that. And yet some people maybe not ready to see that shit, because their first thought will be to go that, oh my God, what they're doing, they're here to infiltrate humanity. Well, people, they've been here for fucking ever. They're here to fuck with humanity. They've been here forever, like 15 years that I've seen, and a lot of people started seeing real thick around that time. I mean, yeah, they haven't done a sin yet. They probably helped out a lot. They've cleaned a lot of the chemtrails, the chemtrails out of the sky. I mean, and believe me, probably got better things to do. If they wanted to be done with Earth, they'd just be done with it and get rid of it. They're not. The real problems that we have with anybody are here and from Earth, really. And I'm not saying we don't have any, because we do. We don't need to get into that, but I mean, these things are so much more advanced. And the thing, too, what people need to realize, I wouldn't expect all of them to look exactly like human beings, although a lot of them are, in their body type form, right? But most of them are ascended past a body, or they look trippy, different, like the people you've seen going through here. Like that guy here. Some of these people could look ominous to you, but the thing is, right, it's so foreign to what we're used to, and those kind of appearances, I don't know, who knows, it could have been planted in people's psyche, what is supposed to look scary and shit like that, right? Because sometimes there's a difference between they just look weird and it's necessarily a bad energy you get from them. I've got that from some pretty nice looking people before, a bad energy, but I prefer something that looks aesthetically pleasing to look at, of course. But I guess that's in the beholder. Now here, this guy, this orb here, this guy here, yeah, they come out of these, or this is what that looks like blown up, right? Here it goes again, that orb. And the guy here again, and, but it's going back through, but it's everywhere. You know what I mean? It's the whole planet knows, except for the United States federal government, who we've all been keeping it a secret from. Really. But people are talking about it. Both Trump and Obama have hinted it, like not just hinted it, but Obama just said in a recent interview, yes, they exist. They're not at Area 51. He said that he knew of, but who knows? Whatever, if he's lying about that or not, who cares? And Trump has mentioned before, too, of course, that it's not something he's really into, but he's sure that they're around in the galaxy. So, government people, they don't really have a choice but to kind of slowly do that. And they've been dripping it forever. But, I mean, I'm the kind of person, it don't happen really at this point, though. I'm at the point with it where, and long since been, where it don't need to happen. Really, we don't need for them to come out. I mean, it'll happen very nonchalantly one day, and, that's just about it. Yeah, and then, some people have to realize that if Noah's Ark really did happen like they thought it happened, it happened like this more than likely. But, that's how it goes.